'Cause we're all in this now, but our dreams can come true. Sustain our sound, GRCB needs you. All in this now, but our dreams can come true. Sustain our sound, GRCB needs you. Sustain our sound, make it loud. Help us keep up the fight. GRCB alright. Help us keep up the fight.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's workshop, field recording, the sounds around us. My name's Sue and I'll be leading your workshop today. I've been involved with Girls Rock Campaign Boston for just over a year now. I volunteer in their after-school program, Beats. Beats engages youth through music, art, collaboration, electronic music production, songwriting, and so much more. And that is why I love Girls Rock Campaign Boston. I also believe music education should be equitable, inclusive, and accessible to everyone because we all have a song inside of us. So, what is field recording? Field recording is a term used for an audio recording made outside of a recording studio. So really, from there, it can take place anywhere, and it can be any sound you can imagine. It can be natural sounds. Think bird calls, waterfalls, thunderstorms, all the things. It can also be human-produced sounds, like traffic, like distant conversation, or the hum of your refrigerator, your neighbor's lawnmower, all those things too. And as we explore, record, compare and contrast, mix together different sounds, we'll start to see different information arise. Like, there are a lot of human-produced sounds that mimic natural sounds. And the other way around, there are natural sounds that mimic some of the human-produced sounds that we're familiar with. For instance, when I take a walk in June, I hear bobolinks. They're really cool birds. And to me, they sound like a synthesizer. They have this really metallic electronic sound to their voice, whereas maybe a cardinal is more of a clear whistle. And a whistle, a man-made device, sounds a lot like a cardinal. So you see what I mean? There's just a lot of connection between human and naturally produced sounds, and that's just one of the things that we can explore when we're field recording. And when we're field recording, we are partaking in creative, close listening. We are opening ourselves up to the sounds around us and to the world around us, just like we do when we're making music of any kind. So, what do we hope to learn and create today? 1, I hope we build upon our appreciation and understanding of the sounds around us through field recording. 2, I hope we will learn to engage with the sounds around us musically through 3 field recording exercises. 3, I hope we come away having developed a new songwriting and performance tool. So, what tools will we need in our workshop today? Well, first we'll need a recording device. Throughout this workshop, I'll be using a smartphone as my recording device, and I'll be using 2 free recording apps. The first is Voice Memo, that records 1-track recordings, and the second is MTSR, otherwise known as multi-track sound recorder. This can record and we can upload up to 4 different tracks and bring them together as one cohesive whole. And please keep in mind, I'm here to help you make any modifications necessary to make these exercises optimal for your recording device of choice. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below or reach out to me through Girls Rock Campaign Boston. So what else should we have handy? A way for you to play your own music or your favorite music or your neighbor's favorite music. Now it's time for our field recording exercises. Yay! In our first exercise, we will work with layering field recordings and creating our own soundscapes. In exercise 2, we will play with field recordings and use them while we play our own music or play our favorite music. Play them along each other. How do the field recordings affect these music recordings or music performances? How do they change the mood? How do they fit the mood? So that's what we'll do in exercise 2. And in exercise 3, we will record in an ambient space. And what I mean by ambient space is a space where we are just letting sounds in. We're not blocking them out, we're just letting the sounds come in, whether that's the weather outside or whether that's the noises going on in the other room or in the apartment below us. We're just letting all these sounds in, and we're either going to play our own music or we're going to play our favorite music, and we're going to see what it's like, how it affects these performances when we play music in an ambient setting. So in our first exercise, we will be field recording. And how will we do that? We'll be using our recording device, in my case, a smartphone, and the 2 apps I mentioned, Voice Memo and MTSR. So I'm going to demonstrate quickly how to use those apps. First, I'm going to go into Voice Memo. Then Voice Memo is going to connect me right into MTSR. It's going to be great. Let me show you how it works. So now I have Voice Memo open. There's the red button at the bottom where I will hit record so I can catch this refrigerator hum. Do you hear it? I'm going to record it. So I really enjoyed recording that refrigerator hum. The longer I listened to it, the more it sounded like distant insects in the summertime. Just another example of how man-made sounds can mimic nature. So, I've got my Voice Memo open. Here's the interface. There's the new recording. It's going to appear right at the top. Now, I'm going to name it Refrigerator Hum, but I'm also going to put in some other information, such as, what time of day was it? Let's see, it's about early evening. And it's spring. And the date. Cool. So why did I put all this information in the title? Because it's just another way we can use the information in our field recordings to learn more about sound and how these sounds will sound different at different times of day, on different times of the year, or when there's different weather. Maybe I'll just add that it was sunny. There we go. If it was raining or there was other inclement weather, we would have heard more ambient sounds coming in. But it was so still, so calm outside that I really just heard that hum. So, I've named my recording, and now you're going to see 3 little blue dots right there. Click on those 3 little blue dots. You're going to see a few options come up. Hit the option at the bottom, Share. It's giving us options to share our recordings. Some icons will pop up. Let's scroll till we hit MTSR, the speaker icon you'll see in blue, and we're going to press Copy to MTSR. Here's the MTSR interface opening, and now it's asking us which track we want that refrigerator hum on. because MTSR hosts 4 tracks. I'm going to choose track 1. Loading, and we see our frequency waves. There it is, tracks uploaded. So now let's go back to Voice Memo and choose some more sounds to upload to our project. Great, so now we have all 4 tracks up on MTSR. I'm going to use these white dots, the volume controls, and crank up each track. Great, so let's run through. That was our refrigerator hum on track 1. This is our cardinal call on track 2. 3, we have a song sparrow call, and on track 4, we have those leaves shuffle in. So let's hear it. How is this all going to sound like together? Hear the leaves. Hear those cardinals in the background. There's a song sparrow. And then that refrigerator hum. Like insects in the distance. Listening back to all those tracks together was super interesting. To me, it almost sounded like I was in a meadow, somewhere in the country, kicking up leaves, birds calling, and the sound of insects in the distance. But what's really interesting is none of those sounds were recorded in a meadow, and they were all recorded in the city. They were recorded at different times of day, different times of year, but when we brought them all together, it sounded like something totally new. By bringing different elements together in field recording, we can create our own new soundscapes, our own new stories using these different sounds together. So now it's your turn to try some field recording and create your own soundscape, your own song with the sounds around you. Awesome, welcome to exercise 2. In exercise 2, we will play our own music, our favorite music, along to some field recordings. Why are we doing this? Because playing this music along to field recordings, we're going to learn a lot about our music or our favorite music and how it is affected by new sound. What I want you to do is play your favorite song just by itself first. Just listen to it without the field recordings. Because then we'll have something to compare it to. It'll be ready and clear in our minds. And then when we add the field recording, we can really see how it changes things up. Awesome. Going to launch into a little demonstration here. I am going to play the first verse to a song I wrote called Peel the Bark. First, I'm going to play it alone, so we have something to compare our field recordings to. If you peel back the bark, you may find a pattern, a purpose to the time weighing on your mind tonight. Great, so now I'm going to play that first verse along to a field recording. I went into Voice Memo again. I went through the archives and I found a few different tracks where I recorded different chimes on different streets on different parts of the city. So I uploaded those tracks to MTSR and now I'm going to play them all together. The intro.
You got to fly. You may fly. You may fly. Heading up purpose to the time when you're on your mind.
Wow, so doing that was really interesting for me. I feel like it definitely affected my performance of the song. Not only was it those sounds of the chimes, but it's also your memories of the field recording, of going out there. That adds a whole nother layer to it. Hearing those sounds brings you back to the place you were when you made those recordings. Just like your favorite song can bring you back to a certain time in your life. So, having those added layers certainly added to the performance, but then the chimes really affected the mood of the song. They kind of gave this little space for magic to happen, hearing those all together. Great, so for my next field recording, I went back into Voice Memo and I chose some different water sounds. Great, first one with water sounds. I really like the sound of the gutter pouring out onto the stones, kind of like how that creates this atmosphere like I'm in a cabin in the woods playing my song on a rainy afternoon. Whatever you want it to be. But, it was almost a little distracting. I think I will manipulate those sounds again, and I think I will go with a little bit of softer water sounds next time I play the song. So I've kind of learned what I like and I've learned what I didn't like, and that really helped me. And so that's just another way working with different sounds can affect the mood of our music and help us change our music too. Great, so we've come to exercise 3. It's time for us to play our song of choice in an ambient space. And when I say that, I mean a space where there isn't any soundproofing going on. We're not shutting the windows, we're opening them up, or we're just finding our space of choice where we can hear other sounds going on. We're letting them in, everything in, whether that's in your kitchen or your bedroom. If you have a porch, maybe you head out there on your stoop, in your stairwell. There's lots of options here. So let's find our favorite ambient space of choice, play a song, and see how that feels, how the sounds around us make us feel. If we're performing, how does it affect our performance? And how do these ambient sounds affect the song? If we're playing a song from the radio or if we're performing the song too. We have lots of different questions we can ask about the sounds around us. So let's get to it. Let's find our favorite space. I'm going to go jump over to mine and I'll meet you there. I've found my space of choice. I'm out on the back porch. I hear a lot of ambient sounds coming in. certainly some wind. I was hearing some laughter. There's neighbors around. So, let's get to it. Here is a song I wrote called Peel the Bark. If you peel back the bark, you may find a pattern, a purpose to the time weighing on your mind tonight. You can hold it up to the sky, to the sky. Watch it shine in a different light. Tell me what you see. Is it gray or green? You can tell me. Let me know. Ooh, la, la, la. Let me know. What you see. I woke up the other morning, clear as can be. Something you had said came back to me in a different light. It was white on white, ice. Let me know. Ooh, la, 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 la. Let me know what you see. Is it the same as me? Let me know. If you want to, let me know and let me know what you see. Is it the same as me? I, for one, found this pretty fun. I liked hearing the sounds around me as I played. I really felt like it made me feel good as I performed, to hear these other sounds around me, to feel them too. And also, I like hearing my neighbors around, hearing some people talking. We heard some bird calls. We heard that wind and maybe some distant cars. So, as you can see, there's just ambient sounds happening all the time. Hope you had a blast and that you learned something from this exercise and about the sounds around you. So, I hope you continue to practice field recording and explore more through the sounds around you. Stretch your imagination, try new things with them, manipulate them, add some filters and effects, throw them into another recording application or program like GarageBand. There's so many filters and effects in there. Add some keyboard up the reverb, whatever suits you. How will this change your recording and how will it fit into your own music? You can always put your field recordings into your songs. And you can also, why not play them in a performance? If you're recording yourself performing live, why not throw on some field recordings to add some ambience, some atmosphere, bring something new into the picture? There's so much you can do. So if you enjoyed this workshop, I also encourage you to explore all the amazing field recording resources that are out there. There are field recording libraries where you can listen to so many different sounds from all over the world. What will you learn from those? How can you apply those to your musical thinking? And how do they compare and contrast to the sounds around you? Also, there are so many amazing sound artists out there to explore and to inspire us. Just to name a few, thanks to all of you. Thanks to Girls Rock Campaign Boston for putting this on. We love GRCB, so let's help support them. Let's help them stay afloat during this time, and there's a few ways we can do that. If you liked this workshop or some of the other amazing workshops they're offering right now, throw a like up on YouTube, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Follow the amazing work they're doing on Instagram, Facebook, their website. And if you're able to, consider making a suggested donation. There's lots of ways we can help GRCB and help them continue to provide us with just an amazing sense of community, amazing virtual programming, and all the rock we could ask for. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Look forward to it. Take care. Bye for now.
Because we're all in this now, but our dreams can come true. Sustain